Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Jake, and welcome. It's episode, come on, I'm not even going to say it. I can't help myself. It's episode 139. This week, I got a guest. It's my friend Murray Valeriano. Oh, can you believe I just butchered his name right out of the gate? I wish there was time to do this over, but there's not. Murray Valeriano is here this week, and he's got a new CD coming out. It's out. It just came out. Coming out. It was coming out, and now it's out. His CD is out of the closet, and totally, it can have sex with whoever it wants. It's grown up. But it's a new CD. It's called Rusty Cow. You can get it everywhere. We're going to talk about it later on. But first, let me just mention my sponsor. It's me. Surprise. Hey, I'm going to Detroit this week to the Comedy Castle in Detroit, May 14 through 16, May 21 to 24. I'm back in Washington, D.C. at the D.C. Improv. Please, y'all, come to that. I love the D.C. Improv, and I'm looking forward to it. Maybe there'll be a live podcast. I don't know. June 5 to 7, I'm in New York City at Gotham Comedy Club. And June 22 to 27, then with another show the 29th, I'm going to be in London. London, that's in England, ladies and gentlemen. That's the one I'm going to. I'm going to be at the Soho Theatre in London, England, June 22 through 27 with another show on the 29th. You know what? You can go to their website. Go to my website to go to their website, though. Please, throw me a bone. That makes my numbers look good. And that's really what the world is about, is making your numbers look good. Who cares about anything else besides your numbers? I do. I care about your feelings, because I feel like your feelings are more important than your numbers. And I feel pretty good. I'm glad you're here. And I hope you're glad you're here. Crank it up if you're on the treadmill, and if you're in the car driving around, just relax. Maybe you want to go into airplane mode so no one can call you right now. I say that all the time, but people call me quite often during the podcast because I forget my own advice about airplane mode. And if you don't have airplane mode, don't feel bad about yourself. Not everyone has airplane mode. But just because that phone rings doesn't mean you have to answer it. Just remember that. Sometimes I want to say that out loud to people, but I don't. I was in Chipotle the other day. Shout out to Chipotle. I love that place. But I'm behind this kid with a skateboard, and he puts his skateboard on one of the high tables. We're in line next to these high tables, and he just puts his skateboard, sets it wheels down on top of the table. Somebody's going to eat their lunch where his wheel that rolled in the street through God knows what, and I'm not trying to judge this young man. I'm just saying, well, I am judging him about his putting his skateboard on the table, but wherever he goes, that's his business. But there's dog urine in the streets. That's the least of what could be on those skateboard wheels that's now on the table where someone's going to eat their lunch. Not me, because I saw him do it. So I ate at another table where someone else put something terrible on it before I got there, and so I didn't see it. But that's also how we build up our immune systems, isn't it? Really? We expose ourselves to what's on the wheels of the skateboards of the young people all across America. Thank you for listening, and please enjoy Murray Valeriano. Here we go. We got to get going.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we don't have time. We don't have all day. So you've got to go pick a kid up.
Yeah, I haven't decided which one yet.
Yeah, you don't always pick up your own kid?
Nah, sometimes I like to vary it up.
Okay, can you...
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we...
yeah, we're going. This is it.
Oh, okay.
Believe me. I've
all right.
Low threshold for what I'd consider a show.
Oh, well then, yeah, I'm your perfect guest.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it. So here we are.
This is it. And this is great. It's good to be back. It hasn't changed a bit.
No, well, there's a few other... It's hard to tell when there have been new additions to this room because it's sort of constantly in the state of things getting dumped and then put away and then thrown away and then more things coming in.
Sure. I'm glad you have this. I'm glad you've been to my podcast studio /office /
Yours is very tidy. Are you
right?
Are you a minimalist kind of guy, or
no? My wife is extremely anal and Greek, so that combination is keep it clean or she gets mad.
And but that's even in your room?
Yeah.
My wife only comes to get me in here to make me go do some other thing. Not make me.
No, she makes you.
Yeah.
She tries not to. She tries not to go into my space because she'll just it'll make me angry, so I'm not going to go in there.
Your space makes her angry?
Yeah, if it's
tidy as it
messy.
is?
If it's messy.
Will she throw things away or put them away? Or
No, she'll just complain to me about it. Although when we first moved in together, it was like a I Love Lucy episode or something. There was a big bag of stuff being thrown out, and I went through it, and I'm like, well, this is my blanket, and this is my shirt. Why are you throwing it? Was like a bad sitcom scene. I'm like, why are you throwing this away?
just because it was on the floor?
She's like, well, you haven't worn it, and that blanket's kind of smelly. I'm like, well, we can wash the blanket. And she's like, well, why don't you? I'm like, well, I'll do it now. Just let me keep it.
Wow. Let me just ask you about your blanket. Is this a blanket that was on a bed, or did you have a blanket that you just have around the house to cover up in case you get chilly?
I carry it with me. It's right here. Take a look. His name is Bongo, and he's been with me since 4th grade.
Not really.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, I had a blanket. It's funny. I still have it too. I fought for it because I told her it reminded me of freedom.
Yeah, I think a blanket means freedom to a lot of people. It means that you're free to go sleep on the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever you want.
So I kept my I kept my blanket. I won that battle.
I'm glad you were able to keep your blankets and your shirt. Sounds like a nice shirt.
And a bowl. And I kept a bowl too.
What was the bowl?
It's just a blue bowl I've had since college. It's about, I don't know. It's good. It's a good size for popcorn.
Oh, so it's not a regular. It's not like every morning you eat your breakfast out of that bowl.
No. It's a popcorn bowl.
It's an occasional. It comes into service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are the kind of thing. It's important to have that around. That's freedom too.
Yes,
right?
that's freedom also. All you need is a bowl and a blanket. That's all you need is a bowl and a blanket, Jake.
You can hit the road. I feel a book coming on. I know you've just released your CD, but I think you've got the bowl and a blanket book. It's hot now. This minimalist thing.
Oh yeah,
is hot.
Yeah, I've been reading all about it. What do you
have?
Any?
Europe on a bowl and a blanket.
Europe on a bowl and a blanket. Yeah. Ooh, might need a spoon.
Maybe a spoon.
Maybe a spoon. I don't know. I've only been married 10 years. Maybe I'll get my spoon in the next 5.
Yeah, I do think you are going to need a spoon. You don't mention that in the title of the book. It starts to get long.
Yeah,
but you do need a spoon.
You can't turn into that. And then when it goes into a movie, you can't fit it on the marquee. You can't fit a bowl, a blanket, a bowl, and a spoon. It'll just trickle off.
So it's like the man version of Eat, Pray, Love, or
eat. What is it? Eat, pray, man, love. No, eat, pray, something, love.
Oh, there's another one in there?
Oh, was it Eat, Pray, Love?
I thought it was just Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, okay, I could be wrong. I didn't read it.
So, but you're allowed to have another bowl, blanket, spoon.
Yeah, but we're putting ands in there, and that's gonna add to the distance of the length.
Okay.
So unless we just go bowl, spoon, blanket, or blanket, bowl, spoon.
Yeah. Or you could do like on Twitter. You could put that little treble clef looking and thing in there. You know what I mean?
An and sign.
The and sign, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the and sign. Is it called the and sign, or does it have another name?
Ampersand, I believe, is the A circle, is the at sign, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the and sign is.
I don't either.
Oh, okay.
But I know what a treble clef is.
So do I. I would probably put bass clefs in between, just to really confuse people.
If I could find that on my phone, if there was a bass clef on there, I would love doing that.
What is it? That's the C with the colon, right? If I remember from my music theory.
Well, it's more like a giant apostrophe. That's how I think of the bass clef. But yes, I can understand
giant apostrophe. Okay.
How it's sort of a C, but then you've turned it up, and it's backwards.
Yeah,
because it's that way.
Oh, right, it is that way. But it's forward. It would be like if you're looking at a C in a mirror. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be like if you were looking at a
You're
C in
saying
the
like
mirror.
it was upside down, like a mushroom, like the pi sign.
Well, a C is like this, but the bass clef is more like that.
Oh, so it's augmented.
Yeah.
Oh, another musical term.
So this is great if you're listening. Like this and like that. Did you get that? Did you enjoy that, everyone?
You didn't see our hand signs?
All you need to do is Google bass clef, and then you can skip the rest of this.
Oh, the C. I see it.
Yeah.
And then I tried to throw in the pi sign and confuse everybody.
Oh, do they have pie on the phone? They've got all those smiley faces and a turd with a face on it. You'd think there'd be a pie in there.
I get that from a lot of people, the turd with the face on it, and I don't like the turd with the face on it.
I think they're doing it to be funny. I think they can't believe that it's one of the emojis, but emoji is a Japanese word, right?
Right. And they don't poop?
They love poop.
Oh, they do?
They love the poop with a face on it. I think it's based on a TV show or something. Yeah.
Ew. Hello, poopy?
Yeah,
Ew.
it's going to be a tough visit, I think, for us to Japan, because I don't want to. I guess I do want to see that. I take it back. I do want to see the TV show that's a poop with a face on it. I want to see what it does. I want to. It's not worth learning Japanese for, but if I was in Japan, I would watch it even if I didn't know if there were no subtitles. I would just be like, I just need to see what that poop face thing.
I'm not
doing.
A poop guy at all. As a matter of fact, I'm at Murray V on Twitter. If you want to tweet at me, tweet anything you want, but no poop emojis, please.
No poop emojis.
I just don't like poop emojis. They're weird. They're kind of gross. And then there's like somebody sent me a barfing emoji.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, do those come out on Twitter if you tweet them on your phone?
They're phones, I guess, not Twitters. I guess, right? Do they come
you
up on
can
Twitter?
tweet them, and people can see them on their phone. But if they look on the internet online on a computer, can they see the emoji? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't realize.
Experiments. I think this is a record for the pod. Usually, we wind up on something that we don't know what we're talking about, but this is maybe the fastest.
This is out of the gate, man.
Yeah.
We don't know anything. Let's just turn the mics on.
and it's such a basic. Like, how could we ever possibly find that out?
I don't know.
You could tweet, and I could go look at it on the computer.
That giant screen 4 inches from your head.
We don't have time for that.
Or you can just ask the 13-year-old next door.
Yeah. I'm curious about poop emojis. You mean if you could see them on the computer, if you could tweet them on your phone? Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, we learned about that in class yesterday.
Yeah, 13-year-olds. I would love to. I feel like I could totally afford to hire a 13-year-old, and he might be, or she might be able to do a better job of, spearheading my career from this point forward than the current people who are in charge.
You may. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice, I guess. Yeah, man. I mean, they're taking over everything.
13-year-olds.
Yeah, for a while it was the nerds, and now it's the nerdy 13-year-olds.
Have you ever watched their YouTubes?
13-year-olds?
Well, there's a lot of YouTube channels where it's just a young person talking about things that they're interested in.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't.
Or reviewing things, or giving you tips on things. Mm-hmm. And I've watched them just in terms of like, look, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I should go see someone who knows what they're doing.
Sure.
Here's a person who. Have you seen the billboards of the people who've got 200,000 people watching them on YouTube?
No, where are those?
You're driving down the street and there's a pretty girl lying on her side and it says 238,000 YouTube followers and her name.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Is that in town or is that on the road?
The poop emoji phone and get out in the world and start looking at some billboards.
Really? Now we gotta get a billboard?
Yeah.
Come
on. Well, maybe.
Oh.
No, I think someone else gets in the billboard. I think that's what happens. You get to be so popular making little videos on your phone and putting them on YouTube that then eventually they give you a billboard. They used to give you a TV show.
Now you get a billboard.
Now you just get a billboard.
Wow. $500,000 billboard deal?
I don't know if she even gets paid for the billboard.
Oh, really?
That's the new thing in show business. The new thing is it's a hobby.
Oh, yeah.
We do it for free.
Yeah. I'm not getting paid for this?
For this?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
This doesn't pay. I don't get paid.
Now I'm going to have to
And
pull
so
a
I
Robert
passed
Downey
that.
Jr. walk off 60 Minutes or whatever he did the other day.
Who did?
Robert Downey Jr. walked off. It wasn't 60 Minutes. It was maybe CNN. Because
What was he mad about?
They kept asking him about his drug addiction. And he was there to promote the Avengers. And I probably would have walked off too. Because the guy just kept going, because you used to do a lot of drugs and you think that affects your life right now. It's like, well, aren't we here to promote Avengers? Yeah,
And
but I mean...
he stopped doing the drugs,
And
didn't
he stopped doing the drugs a while ago. And it's worked out for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like I've got my drug use at a sort of a manageable level.
I can tell.
Yeah, right now.
I know you don't do crystal meth or this place would be spotless.
Yeah, I would tidy it up a little bit. I think that meth, though, that's bad for you. Start picking little sores in your skin, and right, there's not an example of the guy who's doing meth and it's really working for him.
Right now, there's not. I don't think you're going to get like sticky fingers off of meth, like they got off, heroin. The Stones doing heroin got some really great music. I don't think anybody out there is really busting out the next, The Wall by Pink Floyd by doing meth.
Stay off
maybe
the
I
meth.
could. I don't know. Maybe
Stay off the meth. That's a good public service.
if we learn anything, stay
Now-
off the meth today.
I noticed you're wearing a hat today.
I wore a hat because it's from Scotland, and I know you're Scottish.
No, I'm not Scottish.
You're not?
No.
No.
Did you just
What
go
do I
to-
do with all this haggis? Brought you.
It's sweet of you to bring haggis. I mean, you're the first guest who's ever brought haggis.
I was thinking, what does this place need? The place that has
Haggis.
everything.
That's the thing, is I try not to leave any food in here because it could easily get lost underneath some things. I mean, I take it back. There are some peanuts over there in a can. Okay. If you want some nuts. No, you're wearing a hat.
I am. I'm wearing a hat.
I can see your hair is peeking out from under your hat.
Uh-huh.
And you've got some gray. I've got some gray hairs.
I do have some gray, yes.
I was just listening to the radio this morning, and they were saying in Britain, it was the BBC part of, anyway.
The BBC part of the radio?
It was the BBC part of the NPR part of the thing.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, and they were talking about people in Britain are now getting their hair dyed gray.
What? Why?
It's a fashion-y thing.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
We'll be doing that in like 7 years. Because England always beats us on the
Here
fashion.
in the United States, we'll be dyeing our hair gray. Well, no, we're ahead of the trend.
But you and I,
we just need to embrace it. All we need to do is have them hit the spots that havened turned gray yet.
Are they going full gray? Like
I think they're going
like
full
Mad
gray.
Men gray?
Yeah,
really? Huh.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to do a tour in England. You and I, right now with the gray hair.
I got to get one of those hats. So we'll go on with the hats first.
It's Scottish.
Yeah, I know, but it's Scotland is like the hat of England.
Okay. Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, very much.
So we go on stage with the hats, and then we doff our caps to reveal our bright gray hair.
Like angels.
And then we're going to have to do something. I mean, that's then I guess
I got us this far, Jake. You got to land the plane.
Then it's just a comedy show from there on out. But the beginning part, you got to see the beginning. It's very exciting.
Yeah, let's see the 13-year-olds go gray. Not going to happen. When
they start dyeing their hair gray, that's when you really get mad, right? I mean, finally, that's the last straw for me.
That's
the aging, like no one respects us, no one wants to listen to us anymore because we got gray hair.
Pull the plug.
The 13-year-olds dye their hair gray.
It's over.
I revolt against them at that point. I think that's what I do.
That's it. Dyeing their hair gray. That's cool. I have to look that up. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm wearing a hat because I am way behind on a haircut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just letting my hair. We don't really need to talk about Murray's haircut in history, but my hairdresser, who has been cutting my hair for like 15 to 20 years,
man or a woman?
Woman, Shauna. She got sick, and she couldn't cut hair anymore. She's an elderly woman.
Can't cut anyone's hair.
Not anymore.
She's out of the hair cutting business.
She was, but she's back. But I lost her number, and she was gone for so long that I finally found her number. So I'm getting my haircut on Saturday, but I'm like probably 2 months past the haircut.
Who was cutting your hair in the meantime? Did you?
My wife. I went to my wife's hairdresser, and I pay my hairdresser $20 to cut my hair.
Sure.
So have you ever gone to a woman's hairdresser?
I've had some expensive haircuts in the past.
Yeah. I'm like, how much should I tip Carla, your hairdresser? It's like, tip her $20.
Tip her $20.
I'm like, how much is the haircut? And it was a lot. And she did a good job, but still, I'm not paying.
Are you not going to tell me what the haircut cost?
It was $100. It was $100.
$100. Mm-hmm. Fucking ladies are stupid,
right? Well, no, that's the guy. Guys are. I'm stupid for going, but women's are more expensive. I didn't get it colored.
You didn't?
No, this is natural gray.
Do you mean it's 100 including color, even if you don't get the color?
No, I guess if you get colored, you can tack on another, I don't know what color it goes for, $45, $50?
I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. No, I decided a long time ago that Flowbee sounded pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And so I bought a Flowbee. I've actually worn out. Not almost worn out. And then I bought a new Flowbee. Let's put it this way. I've been cutting my own hair for decades.
Since the Flowbee came out?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a little bit of an avant-garde thing because it's really short on the sides. And
did you do that yourself? I was admiring that over bagels.
Yeah, I did this myself. But I'm able to do much more conventional haircuts with the thing. I highly encourage you to invest I think it costs between $50 and $70 for a Flowbee. Give it a try.
All right.
You see what you think?
It's 3 haircuts from my old haircut.
3 haircuts from the $20 lady, but it's less than one haircut.
It's not even one haircut. It's
gypsy,
like half a haircut.
Haircut ripoff.
You've had some avant-garde hairstyles in your day, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Well,
all yourself or
off
recommendations?
I had, when it was really long, I had I had this Japanese guy cutting my hair. He was a gay Japanese guy on Sunset Boulevard that another friend had a lady friend recommended me to.
For sure.
And he was in that, and this is 20 years ago, but he was in that 80 to 100 range for the haircut. He was very nice, and the salon was very nice, and they shampoo I don't need them to shampoo my hair. I think that's another lady thing. Like,
Yeah.
You're not doing me a favor by shampooing my hair. I can do that.
Right.
I don't need you to shampoo my hair. But they'd shampoo your hair, and then they'd cut it and give you a little massage, and then they'd style, they give you that finale hairdo thing, which is always like, either it's so good that you can never repeat it yourself, or it's so not you that you feel like you've had a head transplant when you walk out of the place. But my problem with him was it was expensive. It took a long time to get over there. Still,
Japan?
To Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
And it would sometimes be not the haircut that I wanted.
Sure, yeah.
He would just, even if you're getting the same haircut every time, they're cutting a lot of people.
They don't remember. They don't remember.
You get a little bit of what you want and a little bit of the last haircut they did.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed is hairdressers hate notes. Like, because I went to my wife's twice or maybe 3 times, and I didn't really like it the first time, but then I said, hey, because I had to go back, like, hey, I really liked what you did here last time, but maybe this time could you just not do this and that and everything? And she was like, okay, whatever. So
right.
They don't like. I'm like, hey, you're cutting my hair. I just thought maybe this is what I like.
But the problem is you're paying a price like she's an artist.
Yeah, I know.
And then
they spend a lot of time. I understand.
I'm designing a hairdo for you.
But mine's like, listen, I'm trying to. My wife will cut my son's hair, but she won't cut my hair. I'm like, let's buy the clippers, put it on 4, bzzz, across the head, once every 2 months. I don't see why that's a problem. My hair, the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut, 2 weeks. It'll just grow out. It'll be fine.
This is the thing with the Flowbee. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm selling these things, but I'd be happy to give you a haircut when we're done with this. The beauty, it's not about being a cheapskate, although that's where we started off with this conversation.
Right.
It's about being in control. You may, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the best haircut, you may not get a 10. But you don't get a 10 that often when you go to someone else cutting your hair. Yeah. But the Flowbee is a pretty consistent 8.
Really?
That's
and good.
Often a 9. And it's always you are in charge of it.
Yeah.
You're deciding if you want to take off a little more.
Sure. Yeah, because I've been that one where it's like, hey, could you take off a little bit more in the front? And then they take off way too much. Yeah. And then you look kind of weird.
They're busy. They're cutting a lot of people's hair.
There are a lot of heads coming through that place.
You're only cutting your own hair.
Oh, yeah. I might look into it. I don't know. Can you still get a Flowbee? Are they still on the market?
Oh, yes, you can. I just bought this one. You can. I think you can get it on Amazon.
Now, is it a vacuum? Is that what I'm remembering?
You have to have your own vacuum to hook it up to.
Oh. Oh, see, they tell you that in the small print. I would have bought a Flowbee and I would have been screwed.
You don't have a vacuum cleaner?
I don't know if we have a vacuum cleaner.
You hook it up to the hose, so it's better to have one that's got a hose. But It hooks up to the hose of the vacuum cleaner, and that sucks your hair up, and then the clipper clips it off.
Oh, and you can. All right.
And then you set how long you want it to be. This is good, but this applies to anyone listening. I highly encourage you to get the Flowbee, and please, I'll be happy to consult with you as I travel over the country. I mean, I'd love to start doing haircuts after the show. But I think you have to have a license to cut people's hairs. This is to go back without going completely back to the conversation we were having earlier. But my friend Greg Barrett and I were trying to figure out this show where we would do the comedy show, and then we would cut people's hair.
Now, does he cut his own hair?
At the end of it, I think he does cut his own hair.
Well sculpted that hair,
or the mohawk thing that he does. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be right back with the pros and cons of the pocket fisherman after this.
Yeah, my dad just sold all of his fishing gear. He's at that point in life where he's decided he's never going to go fishing again.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And so he sold all of his fishing gear. He was excited about it.
Yeah.
Which to me it had sort of a sadness to it. But yeah. I'm trying to decide where I'm at with my golf clubs.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm at this is where I'm at with my golf clubs. I'm not buying a new set.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm maybe not throwing them away, but I'm not buying a new set.
I wouldn't throw them away.
or sell them, or I don't even know if you could sell mine. I think I bought mine in '99 or something like that.
I think in theory you can sell everything, but how bad do you want $11?
Yeah, you throw them out on the front yard and stick a price on it.
I do want $11 actually. If I could, if it was instant, but the amount of work you got to do
for $11.
Yeah,
no. If you want to give me $11, I have a PayPal
I'm
account.
Up for that.
If anybody's listening.
Well, I think I mentioned I was on jury duty, and that's coincidentally about what they paid me for 2 days.
Oh, you got paid?
You don't get paid for the first day, but I had to come back the second day, and so it was $11.22. I think
sweetest $11.22 you'll ever make.
It's that weird thing. It's like residuals where they're contractually obligated to pay you, and then you get a check for 22 cents or something.
Right, sure.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my god,
it costs more to mail it than it does to send you the check.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I have that. Sure.
Yeah.
$11.22. What were you just saying? Jury duty. You know what I learned about jury duty?
What?
If you can, push it or put it off until the week of the 4th of July, the week of Christmas, or the week of Thanksgiving.
Yes, I knew that.
I pushed mine on the last one to the week of the 4th of July. I was there for one day, and we were let go halfway through the day.
Yeah, I've done that in the past. This year, we're going to be out of town on the 4th of July, and I didn't want to. It happened to be that they came when the notice came. It was this week, and I was in town this week, and it was so. I said, "I'll do it."
You're going to be out of town on the 4th of July?
Yeah, we're going to be flying back from Great Britain.
I thought we had a
going over there to do a little legwork for the air tour that we're planning.
Awesome. Excellent. I thought we had a thing. I thought we met every year at the parade.
Oh, the 4th of July parade
down here? I thought that was the thing.
I think technically we may be home for the actual 4th. We may be traveling on the 3rd.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is I couldn't do jury duty that week because I'm in transit.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very little cases are heard on the 4th of July.
Yeah, Christmas or the week of the, right before the Christmas holiday that week. Yeah.
And Thanksgiving.
This was going to be a very easy case that I actually got called.
The guy
down.
admitted to it already?
No, if that happens, you're out.
Oh, okay.
But it was a misdemeanor.
I don't think you get much easier than that. You couldn't get much easier than that.
No, well, you don't have to go in if he.
Oh, okay.
If they don't have a jury come down and go, check out this guy. He did it.
I did it. We'll deliberate. We'll be back in 4 hours.
I was just talking about it on the podcast that came out, the one before this one. Mm-hmm. But this was my chance to actually be on a jury. It was supposed to be a short trial. I was called in on Monday. I could have done the whole thing, but they ejected me off of the panel.
Were you looking forward to it? You sound like you're looking forward to it.
Well, the thing was, we went on Monday. We got called down to the room, and he talked about it. And then we had to come back Tuesday because the lawyers weren't finished asking everybody questions before they started throwing people out. And he said, all in, the judge said we would be done by Thursday. So I thought, well, I can feel good about myself that I did my civic duty, and it's not interfering with it's a pain in the ass to have to go downtown.
Yeah.
And I got into it with a parking guy. You have to scan your badge to get in, and then you scan your badge to get out, but it's not at the court parking lot. It's at the...
Yeah, it's like a block away.
It's 3 blocks away.
Is it 3 blocks away?
Well, from the court, there's a bunch of court buildings down there. But you park at the Disney Center, this beautiful...
Disney Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember now.
Frank Gehry building.
Yeah.
And the parking attendant, the badge didn't scan when I went to get out. He said, well, if you scanned that to get in, it should let you back out. And they had given me a different everybody hands them their badge, and then it doesn't have your name on it. It has a number on it. And they just hand you back the badge along with your check, which has your name on it. And then I go to get out, and the person whose badge I got evidently had not scanned themselves in. And then I got into an argument with this guy about whether or not I used the badge to get in. And I said, well, look, there was a mix-up. And he goes, are you lying to me? It's like, come on, I'm lying to a parking attendant to get free parking at the Disney Center during the day on a Tuesday? Why? What did you think I came down here? What kind of scam do you suppose that I'm running? I show him the check for $11.22. I go, here, now do you believe me? He goes, no, I don't.
No?
Yeah. I said, you're going to apologize to me. I just sat there. There's people lined up behind me. He goes, I'm not going to apologize to you. And then it was like, I realized, he probably gives less of a shit about the people behind me than I do.
Right, yeah, of course.
And so I just had to leave.
Oh.
It was a bad poker game. It felt bad.
Yeah.
He defeated me in the who's the biggest jerk.
Well, that's good, though. And you don't get into a who's the biggest jerk with a parking attendant. They're going to win every time.
No, and I knew that. I've been in that situation. Have you ever gotten in an argument with one of those guys?
Yes.
before?
Oh, yeah. I got to do it. But I got the last laugh. I got to do it at the Grove because my card wouldn't read, and it was and I remember she just gave me such a bad attitude, and then she finally had to punch it in, and then I asked her for a receipt. And that made her even more mad because she had to hand write it. So she hand wrote the receipt and almost practically threw it in my car, and then slammed the book of blank receipts down on her little ledge and stormed away. So I grabbed the little receipts thing off the thing.
All of them?
All of them. In case I ever need a receipt.
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
In case I ever need a legitimate receipt.
I didn't get to serve on the jury that I was summoned for, but in the jury of this crime that you've just described, I find you guilty
of being awesome.
And also
of winning in the
what's
end.
your Twitter handle again?
At Murray V.
At Murray V. If you need a parking receipt,
tweet me for a parking receipt. Yeah.
You bring them to your shows and hand them out afterwards as little party favors.
Now, you don't get a pass? Like, you don't get aren't you Jake Johannsen kind of pass?
No, they go around to everybody. So they got 36 people in there, and they give you this sheet of everybody's got to say their name, not your name. You don't say your name. You're wearing just a number. So you say what's your job, and if you're married, and what you would do for a living, and
sure,
if you know anybody who's an attorney or a cop, and if you've ever been arrested and whatnot. And so I have to say, yeah, I'm a comedian, a stand-up comedian. And so I say that, and then people, I suppose, look at you to see if they recognize you. But it's not the demographic is slightly different than the comedy club audience.
Okay, sure.
At the place, it was surprising to me how many people in the jury thing had legally kind of jobs. No, not comedians. There was a video director and a editor and somebody else, but then there's a lot of. There was a fair share of I'm a food server and an actor.
Oh, okay.
There was a few of those.
Oh, yeah.
But there was also a tow truck driver who did not want to discuss the encounters that he'd had with the police in the past.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he would, they're asking about, it was domestic violence, so they're asking about violence and if people have been in fights, and he was like, yeah, I've been in some fights. and they're asking him about self-defense. He goes, yeah, I know what that's like to defend yourself. I know what that's like.
Oh, man. I wonder if he's like
it seemed like he had some good stories.
Right.
And he did not want to be on the jury.
Sure.
He was like, I don't know if I can be fair. Every case that I've heard of domestic, somebody's complaining about domestic violence, they did it.
Yeah.
Nobody's faking that. That was his thing. And there were a lot of people trying to get kicked off the jury. In my opinion, you get kicked off the jury just by having an opinion.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I've never been chosen, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you'll see.
Okay.
I laughed at the defense attorney when she says, has anyone here ever witnessed domestic violence, either in person or on TV or movies? I was like, what the hell kind of question is that?
Well, I guess she's thorough.
Yeah.
I bet that sounds to me like that tow truck driver was not like a AAA tow truck driver. He was not out there helping. He was the guy who was like towed you if you parked too long, or maybe that's why he had all those fight stories.
Well, I think that you're both. I think that tow truck drivers are both those things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're a AAA driver when you're helping people, and then also sometimes the police call you to tow away, or your company has a contract to tow people out of this lot. So you're out. You're out doing whatever you do, and then you get a call from the dispatcher that goes, "Hey, get this."
You put on you take off the white hat and put on the black hat.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought maybe.
Or I think it might be like that Sherlock Holmes hat where you just spin it around, front to back.
Oh, it would be great if it had like a little thumb thing, so you didn't have to do it yourself. You just go, zing! Just do it at any
would.
given moment.
I love pants like that. That's more of a skirt, really.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And only if it made that noise. Oh, Jake just changed his pants.
Speaking of pants, what are you wearing on stage nowadays? I'm just curious because I think I'm going back to the suit.
Are you?
I think I'm going back to the suit.
You know what? I tried the suit, I would say, 3 or 4 months ago at the new Irvine Improv. Mm-hmm. It's a 500-seat theater. It's beautiful. I'm like, I'm going to try a suit.
Sure.
I don't know if I was more uncomfortable in that suit or if I was more uncomfortable the first time on stage. I don't know which. It was so not, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like
Had
the way
you ever been a suit guy?
I'm not much of a suit guy. I look good in a suit, and I'll wear suits, but I only wear suits. It's like this. I have this outfit, and then I have a really expensive suit. I have nothing in between.
So you're wearing now, I'd say, let me just describe your outfit. You've got some lace-up Vans on, black with a little red tongue, and they're red on the bottom, too. You're wearing some jeans, not super fashiony jeans.
No,
just
these
like
are my ratty up jeans.
hanging out guy jeans. You're wearing a jacket that looks like a very sporty kind of guy who works on cars, but this is your dress-up jacket.
I will wear this. I wear this on stage. I'll wear this tonight, probably.
Yeah, it's a nice. It's a very stylish kind of zip-up jacket.
Yeah, it's like almost like a windbreaker type thing, made by Quicksilver.
And then, of course, you've got your Scotsman.
My Scottish
on.
hat.
Plaid. It's not a newsboy cap, but it's got a
I don't know what they call those, but it would be kind of newsy.
Will you wear the hat on stage?
I have, but I don't like to. It's weird, and not to dissect stand-up comedy or live performances, because I don't know if I can bore your audience more.
Oh, believe me, it's really the people who want to know are still listening.
Okay. And I think every piece of clothing you wear on stage says something about you.
Oh, sure. You're sending we're all sending subliminal messages all the time to the people who are looking at us.
Yeah. So I like the hat. It doesn't do it for me. I think it's sending the wrong message, as I do feel the suit is sending the wrong message.
Oh, yeah. I just like to. The message that I'm trying to send with my onstage outfit is this is a big deal for me. I'm excited to be here. It's a special thing, and I want you to be quiet.
So you wear a loud suit.
The thing about the cap, though, with the brim is a lot of times then the light, you get a shade over the top part of your face.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I need people to be able to see the top part of my face.
It's the best part of your face.
Well, the bottom part is the business part of my face.
Sure.
That's where I'm really doing the work. But the top part also, it's not to be underestimated.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. But I do live by the rule of dressing better than the audience.
Yeah.
But I will generally.
Not hard to do nowadays. Sometimes.
I know, and I've obviously, and not hard to dress nicer than the comedian before you either.
Oh, geez. Sometimes some of these guys, some of these kids, these youngsters,
As kids,
it's like, did you just mow the lawn? I know you didn't mow the lawn because I know you're lazy. There's no way you mowed the lawn. Why didn't you get rid of your lawn mowing clothes?
So I do hold that, but I have stage clothes. I call them stage clothes, and then I usually only wear for work.
You only wear them, but today this jacket.
But this jacket goes back and forth. This jacket I can do. I have another jacket that I wear.
More of a
on
Liberace
stage.
kind of a thing.
Yeah. Do you know who Nudie is?
Nudie?
The suit designer?
No.
No? He's the one who designed all those spangly country and western suits with like the big, emblazoned, embroidered eagle on the back of a white suit.
Yeah, sure.
I wear those.
Oh, great. I can't believe that you felt like the other suit was too much and you're wearing the nudie. How do you spell nudie?
I don't know. Shall I Google it real quick?
No, that's okay.
I like the fact that his name is Nudie, but he makes clothing.
Yeah. I'm on board with you.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That now, just to go back to the top part and the bottom part of your face.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think I remember that you had said to me you had I don't
top
have
part
to
of my face? Oh, yes, I have a top part of my face.
You have a new comedy CD, which you've made with the bottom part of your face.
I did. I made it with the bottom part of my face. I do.
And did you consider making a DVD so that you'd be able to see all the parts of your face?
I don't have that good of a face.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. No, I went CD.
Yeah, I feel like CD is a good way to go because the cost of producing it is obviously much lower, and you can make it and have it out, and you've archived that material, and you can move on to start creating your next chunk.
Sure. And as a guy who kind of I'm trying to not sound like an a-hole here. But I kind of podcasting took me to another level in my stand-up.
In what sense?
I became more known through podcasting.
Yes,
through my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who know me listen to podcasts, CDs,
so they're already
Sirius
listening
XM.
to you.
So they're
used to listening to
listening.
you.
So I just said, all right, I'll go CD because most of the people who I will reach, that I'll definitely reach, are listeners of
This
that.
may be what's holding my podcast back, aside from the fact that it's deadly boring. Is that people are used to seeing my face.
Well, yeah.
And now,
that could be it.
This is just like, what about his face?
So you need a television show.
I do. Maybe we were talking before this about Periscope. Maybe that's what I do.
Why don't you set up a camera in here?
I know. I'd love it. This would be, it's photogenic. This room.
This is great.
Yeah. I guess I got to figure out what camera do you get? Do you get a, what do you get? A GoPro or do you just shoot it on your phone?
IMAX.
Yeah.
IMAX camera.
I get the big camera. So the camera is actually as big as this room.
Yeah, it's about that big.
I'm going to have to blow out one wall to get the camera in here. And I think it's 3 guys at least to run that thing.
Your fans will appreciate the effort.
Yeah, they will.
Mm-hmm. Now, so I went CD on that route, just kind of, that was my logic. Now that Periscope is probably going to be the next big thing,
Yeah.
I'm always one behind.
I'm hoping that Periscope beats Meerkat. That's the other instant video
What's
thing.
Meerkat? I don't even know what Meerkat
is.
is.
Like Periscope, but it's owned by someone else, and it was integrated into Twitter. It's another video instant. Watch me making videos right now.
Oh, okay.
We're all tuning into each other's just drivel and nonsense.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
I like to think of this as just a real cut above drivel and nonsense, this podcast.
Oh, yeah, cut above.
But what's the name of your CD?
It's called Rusty Cow.
Rusty Cow.
Hold on.
And where do you get?
Hold on,
you
hold
brought
on.
it along.
I
like
did.
I
You asked me to bring it along. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. I'm going to look at it while you tell me.
What do you want me to tell you?
Well, I want you to tell me. I wanted you to explain Rusty Cow, but I see now on the front of your. I'm just going to describe this
Okay, you
because
describe
people
it.
are used to listening to you talk.
Sure.
I'm going to let them listen to me talk, and then this may be. I'm laying the groundwork now for my next DVD, which is only going to be a CD.
Okay, great. Less initials.
Right. And you actually do get a photo, so people can look at this while they're listening to it.
I like to think they do that,
Yeah.
especially driving.
Right. It's better than a download where you can't look at a thing.
Right.
But on the front is you not really slapping yourself on the forehead, sort of slapping yourself in the eye with the palm of your hand. And in front of you on the table with the other hand, you're holding on to a half-empty bottle of whiskey, and that looks like a pint of whiskey. And then next to that is a half-empty baby's bottle with the nipple on it of milk. Mm-hmm. So Rusty Cow, to me, is the rust is the whiskey and the cow is the milk. Is that right?
It's a drink. It's called the Rusty Cow that you put scotch in milk and you give it to your baby when you want him to go to sleep.
And what parenting book did you get that Rusty Cow out of?
You get it on a CD called Murray Valeriano.
Did
Rusty
you make
Cow.
up Rusty Cow?
I did make up Rusty Cow. Yeah,
You did,
but there's
heard,
ingredients to it on the inside.
But I've heard. You mean this is full of scotch and milk?
Well, there are ingredients on how to make it.
It's written down. The
Yeah,
recipe.
yeah,
There's a recipe, but not the ingredients.
No, I tried that and it just ruined all the CDs.
Yeah, it's because it's cardboard. Comes in a cardboard sleeve. I went with a cardboard sleeve on mine too.
It's ecologically sound.
Oh, this is nice. I see the track names. Potty training. Mm-hmm. This is going to be good. Raising us white people. Track number 8. Man, I'm like. Is this? May I keep? Keep
sure,
this
please.
copy
Yes,
of
course.
your CD?
Yes.
Dying in treadmills. I can't wait.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
So pre-show and post-show are 2 tracks.
Pre-show and post-show. You're a fan of music.
Yes.
Are you a fan of Stevie Wonder?
Fuck yes.
Okay. Living in the City?
Yes.
Do you know that part where it kind of breaks down and they go into, like, New York, just like I pictured it, or Living for the City? I forget. Where they kind of talk, it turns into
sing a little bit of just the living just enough for the city.
Living Heaven. Hold on, I can't think of it now.
I know it's hard to get the melody right,
it's
but that's that song.
But you know
right?
what I'm talking about? And then it breaks down and it has that scene.
For the city. That song.
For the city. Yeah. And then it has that scene where these guys get off the bus and they get arrested. New York.
When you say scene,
it's like it breaks down into an audio scene.
He's telling a little story.
Telling a little story.
Okay.
So it goes into almost this mono thing. And so I use that. I'm like, oh, it'd be cool. Since I'm going to be mic'd anyway, why don't I just leave the mic on before the show and leave the mic on after the show? So I'm just us talking before the show and then us talking after the show.
So you're in the audience that's there can hear you doing the pre-show and the post-show?
No. It's just guys talking. I'm talking to the other like the comics who open for me and people who would come out to the show and stuff.
Did you have how did you?
I had a lav on.
Oh, is that how you recorded the show with the lav?
Yeah, lav and then directional. And then I don't know. The sound guy had the whole place on mic.
I guess this is too technical.
I know. I know.
I think I'm not a very good.
Somebody hire somebody to handle all that.
Oh, you had helpers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't do any of that.
Sure, you can.
I can't even periscope,
dude.
Periscoping, by the way, is what we used to call taking your penis out of your zipper.
Well, Periscope, the one that's hooked up to Twitter, is not that.
No.
I mean, you could do that on Periscope.
I don't see why not.
But I think that you would get thrown off Twitter.
Okay.
I think you can. Can you get thrown off Twitter?
I don't know, because there's for some reason, do you have porn stars that follow you?
That follow me?
On Twitter?
Oh, God, I hope so.
I do, and then I will follow them back. And then
do you follow everybody who follows you back?
No. But I followed a few porn. And then every once in a while, you'll be scrolling down your feed, and there will be a giant porn scene on your phone. Then it's kind of embarrassing. So,
the porn stars are posting actual porn, actually.
Yeah.
Wow, chicka wow wow.
Yeah.
Right on there, living just enough for the city.
Yes. So so if they do that, then I'd stop following because I could be sitting there with my wife, and all of a sudden there's this porn scene that comes up.
Right. That's more of a single man's.
Yeah.
But from their point of view, they're helping you out.
Yeah, and some
right? I'm a porn star. You're following me. This is what you want. Here you go.
Yeah, I guess for their fans. Yeah, but it's funny. A lot of porn stars are fans of comedy.
Interesting.
You wouldn't think they had a sense of humor.
Well, I did go to Eddie Ift's podcast bus party.
Yeah.
And
if anybody is going to get thrown off Twitter, it's going to be that.
He had some porn stars at the podcast bus party thing.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
He had
I didn't realize. I feel like he has always been so nice to me when I've met him and interacted with him. And so that, I've listened to his podcast and I've been on his podcast, but he kind of did a version of it that I was on that was slightly different than the version that he usually does.
Right.
So, because he can be a little, he's racy.
Sure. Yes. Racy is a good word.
I mean, if you want to know, we were talking earlier, you wanted to know where to buy a dildo. And I had.
Now we have to go down that road.
Yeah, no, we don't have to. That was a joke version of a conversation that we had about where would you buy a dildo, and it was in the context of. I'll explain it.
Okay.
It was in the context of buying joke gifts for people
at bachorette parties or whatever, showers and stuff like that.
Well, I have a guy friend who's a comedian whose favorite gift for a wedding gift is a big black dildo with a crank on it.
What?
Yeah, just the biggest.
How many times does he get married?
He gives it to other people.
Oh.
No, that's not one that he received.
Oh.
My favorite. Wow. That was a good misunderstanding. Did you do that on purpose? You're good.
Right.
People should buy this CD, man.
Rusty Cow.
Rusty Cow. Is it on the iTunes?
iTunes, Amazon, all that stuff. MurrayValeriano.com.
MurrayValeriano.com.
Mm-hmm.
People should get the actual. I'm a big fan of getting the actual CD.
Me too. And is it because we're music lovers? Do you think?
I'm not sure. I just you can put this into your computer iPod thing, but you can also look at it. And I do get that if you buy the download, you can see.
But you can't.
Same picture.
You don't get the liner notes.
No.
You don't get, all that stuff.
Inside, there's liner notes?
There's a little, thank yous and stuff like that, and credits and everything like that. And how to make a Rusty Cow, but not the ingredients. We went through that.
Yeah. And this is hot. This is hot off of the
press. It came out May 1st. What was that, 3 days ago, 4 days ago?
Yeah.
3 or 4 days ago, something
Mayo
like
de
that.
uno is what we call that.
Yeah, Mayo de uno.
Uno de Mayo.
Uno de Mayo.
Uno de Mayo.
And you sit around playing a card game all day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which card game?
I'm not a big card person.
Uno.
Oh yeah, I did know that. You're right. Yeah, I did know that.
Okay.
I've never played. I don't think I've ever played Uno.
You never played? You have a little girl and you never played Uno?
No.
You're a bad father.
I'm not a big game.
Not a gamer?
I'm not a game.
Not a game guy?
I've tried to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I continue to try. I bought this game that Jackie Cation recommended called Settlers of Catan.
Oh,
Catan. Have you bought that? Have you tried that game?
No, you're like going from maybe I'll try checkers to like full on gaming. This
Game
is
nerd.
not. Yeah, this
game nerd.
you're going
Well, she's a
from
game
0 to
nerd.
60.
She's a game
I
nerd.
know, she's a huge game nerd.
Right.
You're going
So-
from 0 to 60 though. You're not going 35, 40, 45.
Yeah, no, I'm getting an Xbox and I'm doing Call of Duty. That's what I'm going right into it. What's the learning curve on Call of Duty, do you think? If you just bought an Xbox and you tried to go on where you go online and play against people, it's just like you just get assassinated nonstop.
I think I played 3 times before I stopped and then I sold it.
Really?
Call of Duty, yeah.
But you tried it.
Because I bought an Xbox because I thought it'd be cool to play with my friend who I grew up with in Jersey, and then some military guys I became friends with on the road who came out to shows and stuff. I started playing with them, and then it was pointless. So I stopped playing, and then I sold it to somebody.
Because they're too good. You can't.
Yeah, it's literally like, okay, what do I? And you're dead.
Yeah, I'm behind you, you're dead. I'm behind you, you're dead. I'm behind you, you're dead.
Yeah. So it was not fun. There's no, like you said, the learning curve is. What you can do, and what I did, is buy a Call of Duty just for your computer and play it that way. And you play against the computer.
And is that fun?
That's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
How many times?
Do you
have
like
done
gun
that?
games?
Huh?
Do you like gun games?
I do when you get a gig I do love that you've got porn star and military guys as your fans. I'm not sure of the kind of show that you're doing. But I do love your fan base.
Okay.
I guess when I'm on the road and they've got a coupon for an arcade. My favorite thing to do is the zombie. House of the
shoot up
Dead
the zombie things.
game. Yeah.
Are you a zombie guy?
Well, that's a fun video game.
Okay.
Because they're not. Then you're not shooting. I'm not sure about shooting other people.
Mm-hmm.
If I would like that.
I used to date this girl who every Friday we would go to the movies and we'd go early to play the zombie game and shoot zombies for like 20 minutes before the movie started. And we'd go to the movies.
Would you do that again at the end of the movie, or just?
Oh, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever
Sometimes.
happened to that girl?
I don't know. Got shot by a zombie.
Was that back in the not here?
In this room?
The zombie girlfriend.
Oh, no,
not
that was here.
in LA.
That was here in Los Angeles. Yeah. That was here. A lot of my I moved here when I was young. I moved here when I was like 20, 21 or something like that. So a lot of my back in the day is still
here
in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, but in the town. Back in this town.
In the city.
Back in the city.
Mm-hmm. Living just enough.
For the city. It's living just enough for the city.
Uh-huh.
So then you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I'm not confusing that with another song, right?
No, I don't think so. Except I don't remember the song as well as. I mean, I remember that part of the song, but I don't remember the other part in the song. But I'm going to listen.
I hope
to it
that's
I've got a lot of Googling to do.
Oh yeah.
When this is finished,
I hope that's the right song. I mean, because I'm talking about it in radio, and I could be doing the wrong Stevie Wonder, referencing the wrong Stevie Wonder song. Cindy Wonder is who I just
I would
mentioned.
consider us both lucky if we got a pile of emails correcting us. So, do you ever consider? I guess we've talked for a decent amount of time.
Okay.
But I did have a thing that I wanted. Well, it just reminded me of a thing that I've been thinking about lately. Do you ever see yourself moving away from here, or is this? Do you think is your home now? You moved? Did you? I'm assuming you came here for show business purposes.
I came here to get the heck out of New Jersey.
That was it. That was your sole purpose.
And New York City was too close to my home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had aspirations to be a musician, a guitar player, and stuff like that. But I didn't get into comedy until probably 5 years after I got out here.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it here. I love it. The ocean's right there. It's everybody always says you can surf and snowboard in the same day. Nobody's ever done it, but people say that.
I think some people have done it.
I've never met anybody. You can surf and snowboard in the same day. Have you done it? No, but you can do it.
I think it's just for people. I think That's just for people to be able to say, technically you could do it, but it wouldn't be a great experience.
It would be
because
fun, I don't
you have to
think.
get up super early to do one of them and then leave in the middle of having a good time in order to get there just in time to do a little bit of the other one before it was dark.
And then you have to drive home in traffic.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
So that's not the kind of life.
But you could.
But you could.
It's nice to know that.
You could surf one day and then get a good night's sleep and then snowboard the next day.
In the winter.
Yes, the snowboarding can only happen in the winter.
They leave the part out where you can't snowboard 365 days. You can yes, you can do that, but you can only do that for a small window.
That you can only snowboard in the winter thing goes without saying a little bit.
I don't know. I just want to be clear. If I'm going to put it on a license plate.
Yeah, I think there are probably some parts of very northern Canada and the Arctic and Antarctic where you can snowboard year-round.
True, but we don't live there.
No.
And I don't think you could probably surf there.
You wouldn't want to. I think the water gets really heavy and thick.
Yeah,
it gets that
slushy.
That sort of
Yeah.
That's not a good.
Put some cherry syrup in there.
Yeah,
make it a slushy. No, I love it here. I don't think I would. Sometimes I think if something horrible were to happen and I ended up alone, I'd move to Costa Rica. But that's about it.
Really, for the surf, or just the surf and the remote kind of
the remoteness kind of thing.
Blew
just
out
out of Dodge,
flip flop margarita kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Because
I figure if something horrible happened and I'm alone, then I have nothing here. So
you wouldn't be alone because I'm here. You mean all of us are killed?
You might be the horrible. You might be part of the horrible thing.
So not only your family, all of your friends are taken out.
Yeah, it's not like horrible underlined. Like if something horrible happened and I was alone.
So this could include, like, let's say you go to lunch and you eat something that gives you amnesia.
Yeah.
You might forget that you were supposed to go to Costa Rica.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, good.
You don't know
Have you been to
happen.
Costa Rica?
No. Of course, yes, of course I've been. I've been there like 3 times. I love it.
My wife is from New Zealand,
sure,
as you, I think, know.
I do know that.
But people are always saying to her, that's where I want to move. I want to move to New Zealand. Oh, when the shit goes down in America, when the political thing that I don't like happens in America, I'm moving to New Zealand. And then she asks him if they've ever been, and there's, no, I've never been. They don't know.
What do they know? Americans don't know anything about New Zealand except the Hobbit movies. That's all they know.
And those are fictional.
Yeah, but they don't. I don't know if
they know that. And they didn't really take place in New Zealand. They took place in another place. That's New Zealand is doubling for Middle Earth. It isn't really Middle Earth.
See, I don't think people are factoring that in. I don't feel like people are factoring that in.
No, they're not.
I happen to know a little more than the average American about New Zealand. For instance, the band the Thompson Twins now live there.
Do they? Mm-hmm. Are they from there?
No. But that's just where they retired to.
The Finn brothers are from there.
Yes.
Yeah. Crowded House.
Not twins.
Not twins.
Not twins.
Brothers, though.
Yeah, but not twins.
Okay.
Twins kind of freak me out. Do you know twins?
I know one twin of a lot of twins, but I'm trying to think of... Yes, there was a comedy team in San Francisco when I started, Fran and Jan Solomita, and they were twins.
Wait, Fran's a twin?
I think Fran and Jan are twins. If they're not twins, they looked. I think they were twins. I'm not sure.
I know Fran.
Maybe they're just brothers.
I don't know Jan.
Maybe
but
they're
I know
just
Fran.
brothers.
And that's the part that freaks me out. Like because I've known Fran for 10 years easy, and then I find out he has a twin that looks exactly like him. That freaks me out.
Now you're making. Oh God, I've known them. I haven't seen either one of them for a million years, but now I'm bummed out if they're not twins.
Okay,
but I thought
brother or brother sister.
Huh?
Brother, is Jan a dude or
yeah?
Okay,
two dudes.
Okay.
If you had twins, would you give them rhyming names like that?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What rhymes with Frank? Stank. I don't think that's a good name.
Skank.
Skank. Stank
it's a girl. Frank and Skank. Sorry, Skank, but you were born second, and we really liked Frank.
Although, if we were to write a zombie movie, perhaps the zombie family that lives next door, their twin kids could be Stank and Skank.
Yeah.
Fraternal. One's a boy, one's a girl.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, Frank is the actual human twin, and Skank is the zombie.
Oh, you can have a zombie twin?
And they're both boys, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you could have a zombie twin, sure.
Maybe Stank should be the zombie twin.
The first baby is born alive, and the second baby is born undead.
Oh.
I know. Look, we're making up. Did you think there was going to be?
You could have phrased that a little easier, a little bit, a little nicer.
Do you think is there a non-creepy zombie baby way to describe it? But
Okay.
I feel like I nailed it. In fact, your reaction is what I was looking for.
Then well done, sir.
Yeah, I feel better now.
Speaking of Zombie Baby, that's one of the tracks on my CD.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. No, it's just going.
Yeah,
I'm on my shameless plug tour.
Yeah, well, people should. It's called Rusty Cow. And how did you come up with That's the Alzheimer host.
Yeah.
That's my impression of Alzheimer's host. Yeah, Rusty Cow. So do you have any...
The Alzheimer Show. That's what you should do.
Alzheimer.
Alzheimer. So it's not, you don't hear the Z too much in there?
Yeah, that's my name.
Yeah.
But then I also...
It's like a late night. It's
I'm
like
very forgetful.
Yeah, it's like Al Franken.
And I'm the one who's not in on the joke.
Yeah.
I'm very popular because I'm always forgetting things. I can't remember things. And it's the same type of joke over and over, but I'm not in on it.
Right. And who's your sidekick? Zombie Baby.
I feel like it's so easy to make TV shows now.
I don't know why people are laboring over it.
Why isn't this on Adult Swim right now? Have you watched some of the stuff on Adult Swim?
I don't feel like I smoke enough pot to watch stuff on Adult Swim.
You almost have to. I downloaded the Adult Swim app and I watched something that I could not make head or tail of. I was like, how first of all, bravo, because it was so completely bizarre and surreal. But second of all, like, it's not just one person who writes it and draws it and animates it and then puts the soundtrack and the music and the credits on. You have to tell someone else what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then get them on the same page to make that. Yeah, Adult Swim is good. But the Alzheimer show?
Alzheimer, yeah.
With his sidekick, Zombie Baby, I feel like, holy shit, man. Who do we call?
Somebody. We know a ton of people who work at Adult Swim.
Do we?
We must.
Doesn't
Brian Posehn have a show on Adult Swim?
Does he?
I think so. He's a San Francisco guy, right?
I think so. I think I know him from there. I know. He's a guy who dresses up when he does a show. Brian. Yeah, I haven't seen Brian for a while. He's also a gamer.
Yeah, big gamers, man. I
asked him about his He does a podcast where they play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, really?
On the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jackie Cation must be all over that.
I don't know. I don't know what she's doing.
Right. Well, if it's Dungeons and Dragons are like, that's kind of like isn't that like the Sgt. Pepper's of nerd games?
What is Sgt. Pepper's the Sgt. Pepper's of?
Music. All music. But you know, when you think rock and roll, you think the kind of like the back in the day, the classic album is Sgt. Pepper's. I kind of feel like
I thought it was more dress up albums.
That could be it. That could be the cosplay of.
Yeah, that's
all
it.
Right, okay.
Sgt. Pepper's is the cosplay of music
records, albums. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I meant to say.
We've got so many ideas. We've got the cosplay of comedy DVD that we're going to make. We've got the two gray-haired guys with Scottish hats tour that we're going to be doing,
which are coming to Brighton. I think that's where we're going to kick off the tour.
We get the kinks out on the road and then we bring it to the big city.
Yeah.
And then what else?
Although we got a big following in Leeds.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have to stop there for 4 nights.
Do you know any of these towns, or are you just making them
I've
up?
been to Brighton. I've been to Leeds.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah. I've been to Worthing. Top that.
I can't. I've been to London. That's it.
That's it?
That's it. We're going to go to some other places when I'm in London this time to do my show at the Soho Theatre. The end of June.
Are you doing the Soho Theatre?
Yes, I am.
Oh, awesome.
I've never done that before. Have you done it?
No.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I've only been to Costa Rica one time, though. Didn't want to move there.
No.
I found it to be a little bit... Do you speak Spanish? You'd have to speak Spanish.
No, they're very, a lot of expats are there. So people, and we're one of the few countries who don't encourage learning other languages.
No, we're one of the countries who feels like why learn other languages
when we have the
speaking the greatest fucking language in the world.
So you can find a lot of people. English is no problem, and in a lot of places they actually accept American currency.
Yes, I did find that to be true.
Yeah. But when you use Puerto Rican, why am I in Puerto Rico all of a sudden? When you use Costa Rican currency, it's like, I remember I had a bar. I stayed at a hotel that had a bar that's like, you just pay at the end of the week. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So you don't have to really exchange money. And then I got my tab and it was like 450,000, whatever. I forget what their current,
things.
Which turned out to be like $85.
I always worry in those situations that they're at, because you're drinking, right? And you're letting them keep track of how much you drink, and you're kind of trusting them. And over a period of days, I'd be a little nervous that they were going to tag on something. Not because I'm xenophobic, but I feel like any American bar, if you got into a situation like the bar on the corner where you just pay them every Monday.
Oh yeah, forget about it.
Yeah,
he's going to be showing up in a nicer car every month.
Yeah, courtesy of you.
Just says thanks, Jake, on the license plate.
Yeah, you know you're in trouble when they name one of the urinals after you at the bar.
This is a good time, man, but I have to go pick up my son.
I get it. No,
I apologize.
No, I was going to suggest that maybe I feel like so grateful. I feel grateful that you've come over to be on the podcast, Murray.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, man.
And I'm very excited to listen to your CD. I hope people who are listening to us will go and download it.
Or you can, if you go to murrayvaleriano.com, I will happily sign it for you.
What do you fork over for one of these babies?
On my website's $12.
$12?
Yeah.
That is cheap.
That is cheap, man. Go to Starbucks, it's like $16.
And then you get this plastic thing inside of this cardboard thing with another thing in there that I haven't even seen yet.
No, wait till you open it. It's like a party.
And then they come to your show and you sign them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, happy to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Let's high five.
Oh, okay. This is fun. Awesome.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It was nice of you to stop by. That's a metaphor, of course. I stopped by you more than you stopped by me because you're doing whatever you do, and I just showed up right in your ears. You made that happen, of course, with your behaviors on the internet. Jake, this podcast is always free, though, so you don't have to feel bad about yourself for downloading a thing and then listening to it wherever. I hope maybe you're naked. I don't care if it's comfy, if it's cold. If you're naked and cold, well, my God, you need to put some clothes on. Pause this thing and get your pants on. Thank you for listening. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. I always say it. Someone was kind enough. Got to write these names down. Someone sent me a sweet email about how they were running some kind of distance running. Was it a marathon? Oh my God, I'm butchering this. But shout out to you, people who don't give up. And for those of you who have given up, hopefully it's not too late to give it another try. And this next time, don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. Hang in there. Yeah, enjoy yourself. We're all in this together. These are the motivations. These are the things that I say at the end of the show when I'm delirious and delighted to be done with my responsibilities for the show for a week. And then it starts over. I wake up tomorrow and I do it all again. Believe it or not, this takes some planning and preparation. It doesn't just happen. However long it takes you to listen to it takes me way longer than that to make it happen because of planning. Or maybe it's because of poor planning. Maybe if I was a better planner, it wouldn't take me as long to do all this. But believe me, I get enough of that crap from my wife. I don't need to be telling myself that here in the podcast. Luckily, there's no way she's never made it this far into an episode. So I know she didn't hear that. I love you. Bye-bye.